All right. Hello, friends, and welcome to 14 Days with You. I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but let's have a whole conversation about that. So, I tend to find that Tumblr, specifically like the Tumblr algorithm, not anybody on Tumblr specifically, likes to recommend me visual novels to play. I don't know what about me makes it think that I really want to try out a whole bunch of different visual novels, but for some reason, every few months it's like, hey, look at this one. And so it's been a couple of times now that it has recommended to me 14 Days with You, and I think it kind of looks interesting. I wanted to try it out. The problem that I have is that the love interest in this, who's on the screen right here behind me, is a yandere. And I'm not too big of a fan of yanderes. I think largely just because I always think, I can't even remember his name right now, the yandere love interest from Amnesia. And I just did not like his vibes, but I think he was the very first yandere love interest that I had ever met. And so I feel like he played a really big part on the definition of a yandere for me. But I feel like so many people really like yanderes. I want to try to understand why. And so since Tumblr recommended me 14 Days with You, I thought, why not? The last game that Tumblr recommended me was Our Life Beginnings and Always, and I ended up really liking that. I've played it from beginning to end 5 times this year alone. So, hopefully this is a game like that where I end up absolutely adoring it, but I'm also a little bit scared. Anyway, I guess we hop in now. Let's go. I don't know too much about this game either. Yeah, I do want to enable streamer mode, sexual content, and limit the use of strong language. Hold on. Because I'm very intrigued by, like, what does that mean? Disable all sexual content and limit... But it will not change the overall dark themes present within the demo. I'll say yes, but I am worried that I'm going to be missing something by enabling this. Go. Okay, what would you like to be called? My name's Kit. Yes. They. Cool. I'm insane. We are not the same. Let's go. Is there anything else I can change on here? No? Cool. This is, by the way, it is behind my head, a demo. I don't remember how many days are allowed right now? 5, I think it is. So we can't get the actual 14 days with you, but we can get the first 5, and that's pretty cool. Kit, huh? Yes, that's me. I see. I can't wait to finally meet you, Angel. Okay. Cool. And in other news, the remains of yet another body has been pulled out from Lake Blue Moss, making it a total of 4 unidentified victims this past year. Authorities believe that... Ugh. Stifling a groan with the rim of my coffee cup, I fish around for the remote lodged between the cushions and turn off the TV. I wasn't about to let some morbid headline damper the start of my cheerful morning, especially considering how today was going to be the first day at work. Oh, after finally getting that hard-earned promotion, I didn't know I was an adult. I thought for some reason this took place during, like, high school or college or something like that. Okay. I mean, sure, stacking and sorting through books at a library might not have been my dream job, or even my first choice of places to work after moving back. That sounds lovely, I don't know what you're talking about. But the pay was nice, my coworkers were friendly, and the building was located within the perfect walking distance from my apartment. There was even this adorable little bakery along the way that served the best shortcakes and croissants known to mankind, and the manager there always loved to hand out small freebies whenever I stopped by. Let's go. It still beats living in the city, though. Honestly, I wasn't even sure why I left my hometown in the first place. The fast-paced hustle and bustle lifestyle of the city just wasn't what I was longing for whenever I stared out of my window on sleepless nights, and the people there were always rude and indignant. It was nothing like Courland Bay, where everyone felt like a close-knit family, and the air smelled like the sea, rather than pollution. This bird in the background is gonna make me lose my mind. Let me see if I can... Is that ambiance? It sounds like it's ambiance. Okay, can you chill out? And sure, the local crime rate might be getting out of hand as of late, and there might be fewer things for me to do here. But my new job keeps me busy, and I prefer spending the time alone at the beach over visiting shady bars with people I barely considered friends. In fact... Setting my mug onto the table, I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. A notification from Moth, my online friend, pops up, so I tap on the screen to read their message. What greets me is an adorable sticker of some anime character giving a thumbs up, as well as a short message that says, "Good luck today," underneath. That's so cute, okay. Moth had always been adamant about showing their endless support for me, even after 5 years of friendship, cursed memes, and late-night video calls. And even though I would never admit it out loud, I was truly grateful to have someone like them in my life. Pulling up the keyboard, I began to type a response to their message. Thank you, probably. I was thinking about another sticker, but honestly, let's say thank you. It was really considerate of them to send this message, especially considering our contrasting time zones. Oh my god, that's even cuter. Like, especially, they're supposed to be asleep, and I'm supposed to be awake, and they're staying up late just so they can tell me, like, good luck today. So I decided on sending back a quick thank you in response. A gray chat bubble pops up just as I hit the send button, indicating that Moth was typing out another message. By the way, did you see the latest AOG app? I heard Haruko got an outfit change. Spoil it for me, did he really change his hairstyle as well? Or was it really just his sorcerer outfit? Attack on Giants, oh okay, or AOG as Moth liked to call it, is a popular anime series that we recently became obsessed with, and Haruko is one of the main characters from the show. He's a sorcerer known for his shy and airheaded demeanor, and as of late, his hairstyle had become a trending topic within the community. Now that I thought about it, what hairstyle did Haruko have in the latest episode? I don't know. I know that this changes the way that the love interest looks. I don't know what any of them look like, though. I've only ever seen the love interest have one hairstyle. I'll say mid-length. I generally like mid-length hair. So it's still relatively the same length then? Phew. I must have been looking at fake news or something. By the way, I don't mean to change the subject, but didn't you say last night that you were gonna head to work at 8 a.m? Yeah, what time is it right now? Because it's like almost 9:30 where you are right now. Yikes. Right? Or am I just dumb and got the time zones mixed up again? LOL. Looking at the time displayed on my phone, I immediately let out a string of curses and leaped to my feet. Crap. Grabbing the coat that I had carelessly strewn across the back of the sofa earlier, I quickly shrug it on before making a beeline towards the front door. Before I leave, however, I spare myself one final glance in the poorly hung mirror in the hallway. Hopefully the outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. Oh, see, I worry with something comfy that it's gonna go like sweatpants, and that's not professional. I also don't want to go too professional because it's like a library. I could imagine like some slacks and a cardigan, right? Like the librarian fit. Something casual? It could be too casual. I don't know the tone of this game. I'm gonna lean on the side of professional and hope that we're not going too overboard, because with all of these, or is this just my personal style? Can I go back, by the way? Oh, absolutely. The outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. I don't know if this means that it's going for like my character's personal style or if this is something like for the actual job itself, but in the hopes that it's just for the job, I'm gonna go a little professional. Perhaps it's because I'm still in my impress my colleagues phase, but sometimes it's just best to wear something appropriate for my job. Tugging at the ironed out collar of my blazer, okay, I give myself a small spin in the mirror to make sure that everything was in the right place. You know, I do wonder about if we go back, what does comfy mean? Sweater. Okay. I want to know, because I'd probably personally go a little bit more alternative in real life. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, fishnet. Yikes. I feel like comfy's fine. You know, we get that sweater that I was thinking of. Okay. Anyway, climbing shelves and carrying stacks of books while wearing something stiff and uncomfortable? Yeah, no thanks. I pull the sleeves of my sweater down to smooth out all the folds and give myself an appreciative nod in the mirror. But enough of that, I can check myself out another time. Hastily, I smooth out the wrinkles and pick off any stray pieces of lint from my sleeves before I finally head out the front door. I almost catch my coat on the door handle in the process, yikes. With a grumble, I tug at the fabric of my coat before slamming the door shut with a little bit too much force than necessary. Even trying to insert my key came with a bit of a struggle, and I had to fight the urge to yell in frustration as I attempted to lock my door. Seriously, when will that lazy bum of a landlord do something about this? I swear I've complained about this at least 4 times this month. Oh, hey there, Kit. Looking good. Thanks. My neighbor, Violet, practically beams at me while she fishes through her pockets for her own apartment key. Resting on her hip was yet another potted plant, and I found myself wondering where she was going to put it this time. I was almost entirely convinced that her whole apartment had been turned into a greenhouse at this point, considering how her balcony was practically filled to the brim with different kinds of plants, greenery, and other various kinds of flora. But I wasn't about to complain or anything. The fragrance that wafted in and the wind always smelled floral and earthy, and it did well to mask the smell of smoke and burnt food whenever I tried to cook. Me. Love the shoes, by the way. The color really complements your aura this morning. Okay, let's go. You'll have to let me peek inside your closet someday. I've been looking for some new inspiration lately, okay? Especially with winter right around the corner. I'm just getting excited thinking about it. Oh, but back to you. I wonder what the symbol does. I don't know. Her voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I notice how the growing smile on her face doesn't seem to falter. Hold on, I have to... Okay, buddy maps, let's go. That was a weird way to say that. Type something here. Don't know that I want to right now. In my house spouse era, don't at me, let's go. Stop interfering with my walks, Teo. Oh, I think I remember the name Teo. Now that I think about it, isn't he like a fuckboy kind of character? I've seen too much of this game on Tumblr, and I don't understand any of it, okay? I would like to change my username. I'm just gonna go for the Yeah, that's fine. The, like, normal one that doesn't have games in the, back end of it. But it's still me, don't worry. And my status? I don't know. This one's really funny, though. I like it. Question mark. Username color. I don't quite know what that means because one's like in indigo and this is purple and oh, the username color. Got it. We're all neutral. Except for me. I don't even love myself. I don't know what color I am. Okay. This is intriguing. I do really like this. Don't know why it's suddenly popping up now, but I'm good now, thank you. I read this, I'm pretty sure. Wow, Violet sure was extra chirpy this morning. I wonder if she'd let me borrow some of that energy. In response, I shoot my neighbor a grin of my own, and it was apparently enough to brighten her mood even more than it already was. Is that another plant? But I don't mean it in a bad way? Oh yeah, this is Charlie. I'm thinking about putting her next to Whitney. Of course, yeah. Great, she names her plants. I do too, bitch. Oh, I almost forgot. I've been meaning to ask you this, but when were you going to tell me that you were seeing someone? I am? A knowing look pulls at her features as Violet continues to fiddle with the lock on her door. What are you talking about? Come on, don't act like you didn't just have a guy over last night. I saw him leaving when I took Kathy out for a walk. I'd be more worried about my neighbor taking her plants, named plants, out on a walk at night, but the thought of someone leaving my apartment seemed to set off way more alarm bells. Okay, so, things that I'm learning immediately. He's already breaking and entering. Haven't even seen him yet in the game, and I'm already getting an unexpected nighttime visitor. Cool! I give Violet a concerned look, and she picks up on it almost immediately. You don't remember? Don't tell me you were drunk or something. With a huff, she gives up on trying to unlock her door. It seemed as though we both shared the same problem with our apartment locks. And places her potted plant on now that I think about that, huh? And places her potted plant on the ground before slowly making her way towards me. Tall guy, wearing a dark slasher hoodie? Great. Really into alternative fashion with a crazy amount of belts and loops wrapped around his leg. Interesting. Interesting, because I do know things about this game, like I said. He was wearing alternative fashion? Interesting. I do know, I don't want to say it in the video because we're a little too early for that. But I do know someone in this game that would be describing, and I'm just like, wow, okay. Because the love interest of this wears very, like, cutesy fashion, so... But I'm trying to beat around this bush so hard, but I just don't know how to say it. Very interesting that he was wearing, like, alternative dark colors and stuff like that. Okay. Ring any bells? No. Last night I was just catching up on some TV shows and talking with my friend. No one came here, and even if they did, I would have heard them. My place isn't really that big anyway. Really? But I was so sure it was your door. My hand rests on her cheek in a thinking manner before she pouts up at me, seemingly giving in. For now. Well, alright then. Maybe it was someone else's apartment. I mean, it's always so dark in these hallways at night. Honestly, what is our landlord doing? Would you mind if I check in with security downstairs later? It'd give me some peace of mind. Yeah, that's fine. Alright then. Thank you, Kit. Well, I got some plants to water and some MMOs to raid in. Let's go. So... Violet lets out one last huff before she picks up her plant. What did she name this one again? Charlie. and goes back to unlocking her door. Good talk, I guess, even if it was kind of awkward. Yeah, sure. See you later, Vi. Slipping past my neighbor and into the cramped hallway, I quickly make for the stairs. When will they fix that broken oh my god, save me from this fucking apartment, it sucks. And break into a slight jog. If only my fucking stalker, who's apparently coming in the middle of the night, would help fix the elevator or something. I don't know how he'd do that, just do it. Thankfully, the weather was rather cool today, and the shoes I chose weren't going to leave me with blisters by the time I reached the library. The smell of old paper, coffee, and soft incense floods my senses as I step through the library's glass doors. Melodic chimes alert the woman at the reception desk of my arrival, and I watch as she tucks a strand of stray blonde hair behind her ear as she turns around to greet me. Good morning, Eleanor. Oh. She looks surprised for some reason before her expression morphs into a soft smile, and she beckons me closer with a nod of her head. Eleanor is one of my coworkers here at Corlin Bay Library, and one of the very few people here who actually gets the work done. Great. And although she's notorious for being rather scatterbrained, she more than makes up for it with her caring and doting attitude towards everyone. But her nurturing personality can get rather overbearing at times, and I often find myself having to step away to get some breathing room. Nevertheless, she's charming to work with, and I appreciate her always looking out for me. After all, who knows what my sleeping schedule would have looked like without her help. Just on time. I printed out your... wait, where did I... Her expression turns into a slight panic as she spins on her heels, and I silently watch with amusement as she shuffles through the various books and stacks of papers lining her desk. Where did I leave it? Oh, here it is. Spinning around once more, Eleanor comes back and hands me a sheet of paper with the word schedule printed in big, bold letters. I take it from her grasp and give the sheet a once-over. Well, it looks like I'm going to be busy for the next few weeks. But I guess Eleanor doesn't seem to share the same disdain as me, judging from the playful look plastered on her face. So, how does it feel to no longer be the one in charge of stacking books all day long? Although, you'll still have to work the front desk from time to time, unfortunately. I offer a weak smile at her words before rounding the corner and placing my bag under the desk. And as I begin to pull out some of my belongings, the front door chimes again, letting everyone know that another patron has come in. Figuring Eleanor has it all covered, I leave the customer to her as I go back to preparing everything for the day. But as I turn around to check on her, I notice that she has already finished greeting the customer and was on her way back to her own desk across from mine. As if sensing my gaze, she spins around in her office chair and flashes me a teasing grin. Looks like he's back again. Eleanor gives a soft chuckle as she inclines her head in the direction of the person she was talking about. You know, that new guy. I don't know when he started showing up here in the Bay, but he always comes in and rents out the books you recommend on the display window. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say he has a little crush on you. Ooh. Especially with that outfit you've got on. It makes you look rather gorgeous, so I can't really fault him for staring, really. Because he was staring. A lot. Snorting, I push Eleanor's office chair so that she's facing the other way, and focus my attention back to the papers in front of me. What was with everyone today? Always smiling, gossiping about other people, and meddling in business that wasn't their own. It was bad enough that I had to deal with a potential intruder, but I doubt my deadbeat landlord was going to do anything about it. I might need to buy a stronger lock on my way home from work. Maybe even some kind of alarm system. But would the stores still be open by then? All of a sudden, I get pulled backwards as Eleanor playfully wheels my chair around and leans over my shoulder to softly speak into my ear. Would you look at that? Loverboy in aisle 8 needs some help, it seems. She nods in the direction of the red light flashing above the bookshelves. Interesting. signaling to the staff that someone in that row needed assistance. I've never seen that in a library before in my life, but I like it. With a sigh, I reluctantly stand up and make my way over. I already knew for a fact that Eleanor wasn't going to go help them herself, so I begrudgingly begin to make my way towards aisle 8 alone. I knew better than to glance back at her, though, knowing fully well that my teasing coworker would be sporting the biggest grin on her face at my misfortune. Oh no, I have to do my job. Ducking around the corner and into the aisle, I was immediately met with a broad backside. Okay, that was covered in what had to be the comfiest looking cardigan I'd ever seen. The person whom it belonged to, however, hadn't seemed to notice me yet, so I awkwardly clear my throat and absent-mindedly shift my weight from one foot to the other. Okay. Ah. He seems to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately, I was taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes, and imposing height. So this was the guy who always rented out my recommended books on the display window, huh? He definitely fit the aesthetic of a cozy literature lover needing a good book. His pink hair also reminds me of Haruko, the anime character I had recently been obsessing over with Moth during our late-night video calls. In fact, even the overall cut and style appeared vaguely similar to his. But then again, this hairstyle could have also been trending right now or something, and I just so happened to be the last to know about it. But now that I really had a good look at him, which proved difficult considering his towering height, this stranger also seemed to bear a near picture-perfect resemblance to the male lead from this webcomic I was reading. It was called Always With You, and it involved the main character meeting the love of their life at a... As if noticing my spaced-out look, the stranger absent-mindedly scratches at his jaw while he waits for me to snap out of my thoughts. In fact, I'd been so distracted that I didn't even realize that he had been muttering quietly to himself. I knew you preferred softer-looking clothing. I made the right choice with this outfit. Sorry, I hope I'm not bothering you. I wonder if that has to do with, like, still, again, I'm not 100% sure on the choice that I made. Or if that's just based off of, like, the characters in the anime and stuff. I don't know. I want to know if it changes. I'm going back. I have to go back so far. I have to go back so far for that, but I want to know. I'm a nosy little bitch. Oh my god, it really is far. Okay, so if I choose this... can I then go page down? No, I have to click. Oh man, my landlord sucks. Hey, I'm good. Is that another plant? Yeah, this is Charlie. Oh, by the way, did you see that random person that broke into your, apartment? That was wild, right? Anyway, bye. I'm gonna go talk to security now. Oh, hi, coworker. Here's your schedule for the day. Anyway, we're gonna start working. I'm getting close. Okay. It is different. It is different. Okay, so if you wear more alternative-ish clothing, he says, whoa, you look... I thought you preferred softer clothing. That's why I... sorry, I hope I'm not bothering you. Okay. I like that one better. I'm on a mission. I'm not gonna see the mission happen during the demo portion of this, but I'm on a mission off to the side. I was just looking for, his voice pulls me back to the present, and I hastily try to make sense of what was spilling from his cherry-tinted lips, okay? Watching him struggle with his words could have made anyone feel bad, so I offer him a reassuring smile in return, and an encouraging nod of my head. At that, he takes a steady inhale of air before trying again. I need some help. I'm looking for a specific book, you see, but... And now he's playing with the ends of his sleeves. I feel the sudden urge to reach out and stop him. Did I find the action annoying, endearing, relatable? Who knows? But instead, I held back and waited for him to find the words to speak. But wow, even his mannerisms were eerily similar to Haruko's. The endearing awkwardness and sleeve tugging gave me a sense of deja vu, and it honestly felt like he walked straight out of the anime and into this very library. Man, Moth is gonna freak when I tell them about this later. The stranger in front of me takes in another shaky inhale before he tries to speak once more, this time with a lot more confidence in his tone and a fire in his eye. Do you have any books on native flora? The best I found are on generic wildlife, but nothing about Coral Bay's plants. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong aisle. He was looking for a book on the native flora. Perhaps I should introduce him to Violet. Chuckling to myself at the thought, I stepped closer to the tall man and began scanning the contents of the shelf beside him. He almost seems to flinch at the sudden closeness between us, but showed no sign of moving away. In fact, he seemed to lean closer and incline his head towards mine. And had I not been too preoccupied with finding that book, I would have noticed how his breath hitches in his throat as my scent floods his senses, okay? No, you're definitely in the right aisle. Those kinds of books are just more hidden, I guess. I step past him this time and make my way over to the lower part of the shelves. Absent-mindedly, I run a finger against the spines of each book until I come into contact with one book in particular. Then, bending over slightly, I pull the book from the shelf and give the cover a once-over before offering it to the man behind me. Is this what you're looking for? Too preoccupied with the misplaced book on the bookshelf, who brings cookbooks into the nature aisle? I barely notice how his blue eyes trail across my form. I've had a feeling you were going to, before landing on the book held out in my outstretched hand. Was it just me, or did he have a certain glint in his eyes? Was this book really that interesting? Or perhaps this tall stranger was just really into nature? Well, not that it mattered, because he was already taking a tentative step forward and revealing more of his hands from the depths of his long sleeves. With shaky fingers, I watch as the stranger reaches out and takes it from my grasp. He flips through a few pages to take in its contents, before finally settling on the book with an affirmative nod. Yes, that was exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. I'm glad. You're like an angel sent down from heaven or something. You're so helpful. Kind, too. What? What? Oh, I didn't... Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. Oh, that must have been so weird. I'm so sorry. He looked as though he was about to cry now, so I hastily threw up my hands in a comforting manner and shot him a reassuring smile. Hey, it's fine. No need to freak out. I wasn't expecting someone to say that about me is all. Really? Well, I think it's true for what it's worth. You really are like an angel. Thanks. Figuring that was my cue to leave before things got awkward, I give him one last friendly smile and suddenly glance back towards the front desk. But the eccentric man showed no signs of moving. Instead, he just looked down at me expectantly. Did he want to continue the conversation? It seemed unlikely, as he didn't say anything. He simply stared at me. Awkwardly, I clear my throat for what had to be the millionth time today, and gesture vaguely to the reception desk behind me. Well, if you don't need any more help, I should... This is just getting weird now. Should I even attempt to continue this conversation or just leave? I mean, it would seem rude to just walk away abruptly, especially considering how he's apparently a regular patron in the library I work at. But he wasn't making much of an effort either, so what should I do? Bye. I should probably head back to the front desk now. Sorry, but I can't be away from it for too long. Unless I want to get fired or something. Okay, we didn't need to say all that. Wait, He seems almost hesitant for a moment before his hand shoots out. Most of it was covered by the sleeve of his cardigan, but it was close enough to my line of sight that I could make out the faint cuts and marks lining his fingers. Were those burn marks? My name's Ren. It was nice to meet you, and thank you for the help. Oh? Was he introducing himself? In that case, I take his outstretched hand and give it a gentle shake. His breath seems to catch in his throat at the contact, but he disguises it by clearing his throat awkwardly. I'm Kit. It's nice to meet you too, but I really do need to go back and... Say, are you busy later? I'd love to thank you for helping me find this book. Seriously, what is up with this guy? One minute he's shy, and the next he's bold. It was almost like he was putting up several fronts to see which one I responded to better. Interesting. Actually, I'll be busy this afternoon. I need to buy a new lock for my apartment. A new lock? That doesn't sound good. Can I ask why? Yeah, somebody fucking broke in the middle of the night. Can you believe that? I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell him. I mean, what was he going to do? Personally show up at my doorstep and test the new lock himself? Apparently someone broke into my apartment last night and I didn't notice. I don't think they stole anything, but still, it's creepy. I figured it's better to be safe than sorry, you know? Yeah, but it sounds like instead of a lock, you need to jump the scumbag when they least expect it and beat them up to teach them a lesson. Stay up all night if you have to. Really get the edge on them. I couldn't help but let out a genuine chuckle at his suggestion. If I had to choose, then this would have been the side of him that I preferred. Damn. He seemed at ease, and his words weren't as forced or awkward. Yeah? And who's gonna be the one to beat the guy up at 3 a.m.? Because last I checked, I'm not really the type to go around throwing punches at people I don't know. And definitely not before the sun is up and shining. I had a feeling that's where this was gonna go. I could do it for you. You? I mean, we don't even know each other that well, and that's fine. I could tell you all about myself on the walk there. My whole life story and everything. Where I was born, the school I went to, how many cute librarians I've met. Damn. Which happens to be one so far. Before I could even comment on his sudden confidence, Ren seems to pick up on my discomfort at his choice of words, even if it was discomfort that I was feeling, and hastily backtracks. Hey, or not. I was just messing around. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. I can't imagine a world in which that works. You say something like that outrageous, and then go, just kidding! There it was again, that subtle shift in his personality. But now that he mentioned it, would it really hurt to invite him to my place for the night? He definitely looked like he could handle himself in a fight, his contrasting outfit aside, so maybe it wasn't as bad of an idea. I have no idea which one of these I want to do. A part of me is like, no, that's fucking weird. And the other part of me is like, this is just a game. You know what, bro? Sure. God, curiosity killed the cat. I want to know what he's gonna do if I invite him over. Actually, you know what? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? Hey, remember when it said that if I choose streamer mode, it's going to skip all the, like, sexual references? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? I'd feel a bit safer knowing someone else was around. Oh, you actually want me to come over? I guess. I mean, yeah, sure, definitely. He seems a bit too eager for this. If it's not too much trouble, I get... Where are they? Kit? Ah! There you are. Someone at the front desk is looking for you and... Oh, sorry, are you busy right now? I can... Impeccable timing as always, Eleanor. No, it's fine. I think everything is already handled here, right? I give the two of them a soft smile before making my way towards the reception desk. But as I pass by Eleanor, I gently clasp a hand on her shoulder and shoot her a playful look of my own. If you need more help, I'm sure Eleanor can assist you. She loves helping others, right? As I turn to leave, I barely miss the way Ren's eyes zone in on my hand resting on Eleanor's shoulder. Damn, bro. It was a hand. Chill out. Hours seem to pass by in a blur, and soon enough, I find myself resting up in the employees' lounge. My mind drifts back to that guy from earlier, and I couldn't help but wonder what happened to him afterwards. Did he rent out the book I offered? What about my recommended novel of the week? Ren sure was strange, to say the least, but I had to admit that he did seem kind of cute. Okay, with his oversized cardigan and timid demeanor. He still gave me off-putting vibes, though, especially with his ever-changing personality. And if I had to be completely honest, that shy and timid persona that he displayed felt rather forced to me. It was almost as if he saw it on TV or something and wanted to try it out himself, and I just happened to be one of his first victims. Victims is an interesting word for it. But who was I to call him out for it? That was his business if he wanted to act all shy and demure. Kit, everything alright? It's not often that I find you here at this time. Conan, my boss, startles me as he suddenly appears in the entranceway. Everyone saw him as some kind of blessing to this institution because the moment he showed up, all forms of trouble seemed to disappear overnight. Okay. Those low-life teens started causing chaos elsewhere, and the rumored gangs became few and far between. Interesting to say about somebody who has dead eyes and a scar on their lip. At first, I thought that he might have been linked to these criminals because of his intimidating gaze and facial scars. But then I got to know him better and found out that he had a massive soft spot for those dear to him. Okay. Though much like Eleanor, Conan felt more like a father figure with how much he fretted over his staff and their well-being. I mean, he literally installed a new air conditioner and water dispenser last week because one of his employees fainted due to heat stroke. I feel like that's very valid. It wasn't anything too major, but it was nice to know that our boss was considerate enough about the people he hired. I doubt I could say the same about my old job in the city. Conan was also nice to chat to whenever I went on my breaks, and would always encourage me to take as much time as I needed before I returned to my desk. But after realizing that I had, once again, been spacing out, I pulled myself away from my thoughts and turned to offer my boss an acknowledging smile. Yeah, I'm fine, just taking a short break. I'll be back out there soon. Take as long as you need. Don't overwork yourself. He seems hesitant to leave, if the way he was shifting from one foot to the other was any indication. He shoots me a concerned look before opening his mouth, only to close it once more in contemplation. Have you seen Eleanor? I asked her to come see me regarding the unsorted novels in the storeroom, but she's yet to show up. I have a little bit of a bad feeling. Last I saw her, she was talking to one of our patrons in aisle 8. Maybe she's still there. I'll have to check again then, thank you. And with that, he disappeared, just as quietly as he came. But that was odd. It wasn't like Eleanor to suddenly go missing. Was she still occupied with Ren? It had been a while, so I figured she would have finished helping him and left by now. Oh well, I'm sure she'll turn up sooner or later. Ren didn't seem like much of a talkative person anyway. Again, my good bitch, it was a hand on a shoulder. Jeez, why do my thoughts keep returning to that eccentric man? He's what the game's about. Deciding that I wasn't going to waste my time thinking about any more pink-haired guys, my beloved Haruko aside, I get up from the lounge and meander my way back towards the front desk again. Just so long as, like, you clean up the dead body before I have to see it, whatever. But once I arrive, I immediately notice that my chatty coworker was still nowhere to be found. It was just like my boss had said. Eleanor wasn't anywhere to be seen, and it wasn't like her to leave the reception desk unattended for so long. Maybe she managed to knock over a pile of books again and was busy cleaning it up. It certainly wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for her. Well, whatever. I'm sure she'll turn up again soon. The impact from me plopping down onto my office chair causes some of the papers around me to rustle, and a bright pink sticky note fluttering around captures my attention. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peel the folded note off my computer screen and read it. Angel? Unfolding it, read the following. I'll wait for you after work. But if you change your mind about our deal, just keep walking. I'll take the hint, don't worry. That stuttering guy from aisle 8. The stuttering guy from aisle 8? I couldn't help but crack a smile at the name Ren chose for himself. And before I could allow Eleanor the chance to manifest behind me and to tease me to Kingdom Come, I pocket the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. Is it a good idea that I invited him over? The debate is still debating. To be fair, the game is about him. True to his word, I caught a glimpse of Ren waiting patiently for me on one of the benches as I pack up for the day and leave the library. From afar, he looked like an oversized puppy waiting for his owner to return from work, and admittedly, I found it rather cute, especially with how his figurative tail started to wag upon my arrival. Ren seems all too happy to see me, but before I could call him out on it, he offers me a bottle of water that I assumed he bought from one of the convenience stores down the street. You worked hard today, now you can finally rest, huh? He's looking down at me again with a glimmer of expectancy in his eyes, so I hesitantly take the bottle of water from his grasp and give him an affirmative nod of my head. Thanks. No problem. Did you want to head off now, or do you want to rest for a bit? I mean, you were standing a lot today. He seems almost lost in his thoughts now, and I wonder how he knew what I'd been doing all day. After all, I figured he would have left after he found that book, but maybe he stayed a bit longer to read it. Oh no, I'm fine, but do you think we could make a quick detour on the way? I still need to... Kit. Heyo. I could recognize those boisterous voices anywhere. The first one belonged to Jae Hyun, a guy I had met at university. He sat next to me during the first few days of orientation, and even offered to lend me his phone charger when my battery started to run out. That's nice. He's a fun guy to be around, though his extroverted and energetic personality was often hard to keep up with. But Leon, the other guy awkwardly hanging off of Jay's arm, was a different story. We'd practically known each other since we were babies, but he moved away from Coraline Bay when we were still in elementary school, okay? I wasn't sure when he moved back to the Bay, but it was great knowing I'd be able to see him again. I just wished I could find the time to hang out with him like we used to. But I was always busy with work, and he was always busy playing volleyball and taking care of his sick mother in the hospital, okay? Before I knew it, I was being pulled out of my thoughts by Jay's bubbly laughter. Hey, still with us? Hey, Kit, finally finished with work? Oh, and who's this? This is Ren. We actually met at work today. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to tell Leon, the human personification of overprotective, that I had just met the man today. What would he think if he found out I was bringing home a complete stranger? He usually rents out my recommended books at the library. Anyway, Leon, Jay, this is Ren. Ren, this is Leon and Jay. Unfortunately, these guys are my friends. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm going to see them any longer after this conversation. It's truly unfortunate to know a handsome bloke such as myself. Leon dramatically clutches the spot above his heart as he leans further into Jay's shoulder. So you're Ren. Are you new here? I like to think I know everyone here in the Bay, but it seems you've proven me wrong. Yeah. I recently moved here a couple of months ago. Oh, same as Kit? I'm pretty sure they moved back here like, what, 2 months ago, right? Leon looks at me for confirmation, and I meekly nod my head. Strange how I've only been back here for 2 months, and I've yet to find enough time to catch up with all my friends. Oh, what a coincidence. Anyway, talking about moving is boring. Do you want to come hang with us? I barely noticed the way Ren gets shoved to the side by Jay, intentional or not, nor could I make out the scowl on his face as soon as the excitable man leans a little too close into my personal bubble. We were just about to head over to Club Shoreline. You want to come? I'm sure Leon wouldn't mind paying for you as well. Boy, I don't mind paying for them, but who said anything about paying for you? Damn. I did, just now. Thanks, Leon. You're the best. I don't miss the way Leon rolls his eyes at Jay's antics before settling his gaze on me once more. You want to tag along? I really don't mind paying if you do. Sorry guys, I've actually already made plans. And do these plans have anything to do with this lanky fellow? My name is Ren. Actually, yeah, I promised I'd hang out with him today. He can come clubbing with us too, the more the merrier. I'd rather not. Sorry, maybe another time. I'm kinda drained from work anyway, so... Hey, no worries, Darl. Never heard that one before. Think I kind of hate it. Just make sure you take it easy when you get back home, yeah? I'm sure I will. He shoots me a considerate smile before throwing an arm over Jay's shoulder. Well then, if you'll excuse us, I gotta find a way to get this knucklehead to cover his own entry fees. We can all catch up another time, okay? And if you need help with anything, just give me a ring, yeah? I'll watch my phone like a hawk tonight. Thanks. It was nice catching up with you again, Darl. And nice meeting you too, Ron. As they leave, I notice the way Leon looks Ren up and down, almost as if he was sizing him up. But Jay, like always, ignores the mood and thumps Leon in the back to encourage him to walk faster. I watch as they both throw a carefree wave over their shoulders as they both head off in the direction of the nightclub, a few blocks down the street. So, that wasn't awkward at all. I turn to look up at Ren, but his eyes seem to be fixated on the two retreating figures, yep. He doesn't seem to snap out of it, so I gently call out his name again. Oh, sorry. Do you wanna head back home now? In the end, we made a quick detour to the local locksmith before heading back to my apartment. So here's the lock that I got for my door. Now you know the make and model. So, this is my place. You'll have to excuse the mess. I wasn't expecting to have anyone over. This is a bad idea. Hey, don't worry about it. I know you're not a messy person. Huh. How? I mean, from what I can tell, you don't really seem like the type. Yeah? Well, I hope you can keep that image of me after you see the state of my place. His soft laughter echoes down into the hallway and almost drowns out the sound of my neighbor opening her door. Oh! Violet almost seems embarrassed as she jumps behind her door, clearly not expecting someone to be around at this time, but she brushes it off with a soft smile and steps outside. Hello again, Kit. We seem to be bumping into each other a lot today, huh? Oh, who's this? How do I explain to my neighbor that Ren wasn't just some guy I just met at work today? I'm certain she'd chew me out for bringing home a complete stranger, but still, he didn't exactly seem to be the type to murder me in my sleep. In fact, he seemed more like the type of guy to ask me to return his order because he asked for no pickles or something. I'm... Ren. Why did you make that? Hold on, I want to see that again. He's fucking vibrating. Immediately, his large- oh my god, dude. His large frame blocks my view as he steps in front of my neighbor and me, almost as if he wanted to put as much distance between us as possible. She lives next door! One of his hands shoots out from inside his pocket, and he gruffly offers it to Violet for her to shake. This game isn't, meet Ren, get to know him. This is Ren Therapy Simulator. Where I teach him how to stop trying to murder everyone I talk to. Concerned about his abrupt actions, I sidestep him and look up to gauge his expression. I'm a friend of Kit's. I see. I haven't seen you around before, though. Are you new to the area? Relax, V. He's not a serial killer or anything. Or Vi, however I pronounced it before. At least I sure hope he wasn't. And why did I feel the sudden urge to defend him? It wasn't like I could confidently say that he was some holy being that flew down from heaven or something. Maybe he was the one who needed to be called Angel instead. Well, it didn't really matter. Really, Ren actually offered to stay at my place for the night in case that creep decides to come back. Oh, well, I mean, he certainly has the height for it. I get that a lot. But don't worry, they're safe in my hands. Well, alright then, a friend of Kit is a friend of mine. But I have my eye on you, Mr. Totally Not a Serial Killer. She whispers the next part to Ren under her breath, but clearly had the intention of letting me hear it as well. Just remember that I know what you look like now, so don't complain if you see your face plastered all over milk cartons soon enough. Well, alrighty then, enjoy your night, and no funny business, you two. I'm off for my walk now. Toodles! I like her a lot. Ignore her, please. Alright. Okay, but I gotta ask, was she holding a potted plant on a walk? Yes, she was. Dropping my keys into the bowl, I shrug out of my coat and drape it over one of the chairs near the entrance. I'm just now thinking if I didn't invite him into my house, would I have gotten a game over? I kind of want to see. Well, make yourself at home. Turning to Ren, I watch as he awkwardly shuffles about in the hallway, almost uncertain if he should come inside or not. He moves to take off his shoes, and I watch in awe as he neatly stacks them next to the umbrella rack. Oh, are you the type to leave your shoes on at home? Sorry, I'll... No, you're fine. He really was adorable. But now that he was here, I wasn't quite sure what to do next. Usually I'd pop on a TV show or some anime while I'd chow down on some takeaway food, or even just talk with Moth until some unreasonable hour in the morning. But now that I had company over, I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't even know what Ren liked to do in his free time. Turning to face the pink-haired man once more, I almost jumped back in fright. Clearly, I wasn't expecting him to get so close to me while I was lost in thought. I could almost feel the heat radiating from his large frame, and feel the small puffs of air leave his nostrils as he shyly leans down to look at me. Okay, back up. Oh, so... Breathe, Kit. Breathe. Was there anything you wanted to do, or... 'cause I usually just... Dang it, it was hard to think straight when he was standing so close to me and wafting a stupidly strong scent of mint and fresh linen in my direction. Why was I even so attentive to the way Ren smelled? Wow, I'm beginning to sound like a creep. Nah, I don't really have anything I need to do. You can just go about your normal routine if you want, and I'll try not to get in your way. Or you can just put me in the corner somewhere and pretend I'm not there. Whatever works for you. No offense, but you take up much more room than you think, so I doubt that would work. Touché. Once again, I found myself being drawn in by his soft laughter, and I couldn't help but chuckle along with him. Was it always this easy talking to him? It was like we were childhood friends, reminiscing about old times or something. Except the only one making it awkward now was me. Glancing back at Ren, I notice how he's still looking at me with those expectant eyes of his as he looms over me in the entranceway. He obviously didn't want to do something I'd be uncomfortable with, and he couldn't really suggest anything since this wasn't his home. So I guess the choice was up to me after all. Hey yo bro, let's watch some TV. Well then, I usually just watch TV while I get ready for bed. Do you want to watch something to pass the time? Sounds great to me. Once we were both seated and comfortable on the couch, I picked up the remote and decided on something to watch. There wasn't much on at this time besides some B-list horror flick, and to my surprise, I find out that Ren actually liked those kinds of movies. Or at least he seems to enjoy it with the way he was hunched over in his seat, gaze intently staring at the screen as a hunt sequence begins. But I suppose I could understand the intrigue, seeing as once I glanced back at the television, I found myself completely enraptured by the suspense and overall chilling atmosphere of it all. Couldn't be me. The killer was chasing down his victim now, and I watch with bated breath as he stalks his way towards the door, cutting off the glow of light from underneath the door frame. Almost smugly, like he knew exactly where his victim was hiding, the masked killer knocks on the door before letting himself in. He walks with heavy footsteps towards the edge of the bed before ever so slowly bending down, lifting the quilt up, raising his axe, and... Wah! It wasn't the jump scare that got me, but rather Ren's abrupt yelp. Clenching my shirt where my rapid heartbeat thrummed against my chest, I spare a glance at the lanky man with fleeting anger in my eyes. Sorry, I didn't really think a cheap jump scare like that would get me. And here I thought you enjoyed watching these kinds of films. I do, I guess I wasn't paying much attention at the time. I see. I didn't, in fact, see. We can change the movie if you like. You don't have to watch it because of me. I know you prefer watching anime anyway. How do you know that? No, I don't mind watching some scary movie if you... Huh? How did you know I liked watching anime? That side of me wasn't something I go around telling attractive strangers, and I'd certainly remember if I told it to Ren. Oh, I saw one of your posters on your wall when we came in. Attack on Giants or something, I think. Oh, right. I forgot that I'd hung that up when I first moved into my apartment. But I'm surprised that he noticed it from all the way in the lounge room. But shouldn't it be dark by now in that hallway? It's not like there were any windows to let in the moonlight, and I hadn't turned the light on yet. I actually like that anime too. I recently started watching it because, well, I thought it looked interesting. He watches Attack on Giant? Well, now that I thought about it, it made a lot of sense. He definitely gave off Haruko vibes, and his oddly specific hairstyle and timid personality were proof of that. Then again, it really might have been a coincidence after all. But there's no harm in asking, right? Is that why you styled your hair like that? Because it honestly reminds me of one of the characters from it. He's one of my favorite characters, actually. Do you know him? Haruko? He's the sorcerer who... Come on, Kit. I almost call myself Tit. Come on, Kit. Tone it down. This wasn't Moth you were gushing to. No one needed to see this cringy side of you. Although, looking at Ren, he did seem to be interested in what I had to say. But then again, he was probably just being nice. Maybe it is just a trending haircut or something, sorry. I like Haruko too. He's very timid and sweet, isn't he? I guess that's why he's a fan favorite, huh? Do you normally go for guys like him? There's that switch in personality again. Was he always like this? I was beginning to think that it was more than just an act he was putting on. He's your type, right? Actually. I get a weird sense of deja vu from his words, and I find myself thinking back to the time when Moth asked me that very same question. And now that I thought about it, Ren definitely fit the description I gave them. He had Haruko's looks and personality, but also liked to dress in that cozy, soft academia aesthetic that I liked. No, I don't. But my interests were ever-changing and dependent on my hyperfixation, so I couldn't say for certain what my current type was. As if noticing my far-off stare, Ren breaks the silence by talking once more. Oh, but you asked about my hair, right? I guess it does have something to do with Haruko, but at the same time, not really. I chose this hairstyle because of other reasons. Well, that certainly was ominous. But before I could ask, I watch as Ren subtly tries to mask a yawn by turning his head to the side while covering his mouth. It was endearing how he tried to pass it off as though he was simply looking around the room, but I knew better. Tired? I can go get your bed set up now if you like. Just give me a second to pull out the air mattress. It's fine. I don't want to be a bother. I could just sleep on the floor or something. I really don't mind, promise. or honest, whichever. But I have timber flooring. Seriously, don't worry about it, it'll just be 2 seconds. I get up from my spot on the couch and make a beeline for my closet before he can respond. And yet, I barely got 3 meters away before I could hear the heavy, telltale footsteps of Ren following close behind me once more, almost like a lost puppy. It was honestly kind of cute. Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I pull out my trusty air mattress from the closet and begin setting it up in the lounge room. That is until I found out that it had a massive gaping hole on the side. Those dang rats. I swear if I had the chance to move apartments, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But until then, I'll continue to send complaint after complaint to that good-for-nothing landlord. I'm starting to think it's not the landlord. Really, I don't mind sleeping on the floor. And like I said, I have uncomfortable timber flooring, unless... Don't say it. I had a feeling this was gonna pop up. My hallway has carpet. That's wild. My first thought would have been you could sleep on the couch. Why didn't I think of that sooner? But no, I just had to go and embarrass myself by attempting to blow up an air mattress only to find out that it had holes in it because of rats. I'm going to be known as the rat baby now. I'll never be able to show my face. Yeah, the couch is fine, but I really don't mind sleeping on the floor. No, I'm not going to be using the couch. Oh, he doesn't seem fazed about the rats at all. No, it's okay. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you. After setting up some blankets and extra pillows from my room, I showed Ren the way to the bathroom in case he needed to go and bid him good night. It was like my feet were on autopilot as I returned to my bedroom. Silently shutting the door and locking it. I don't think the locking would really matter, to be honest. I awkwardly looked around my room as if I was the guest in my own house. It didn't feel awkward per se, but knowing that I had brought home a complete stranger didn't sit right with me. But still, Ren showed no signs of wanting to murder me in my sleep, and Violet did meet him before he came inside. So maybe this wasn't so much of a bad idea after all. It's kind of a bad idea. I somehow felt safe in his presence, and even though we had just met, I felt like I could trust Ren enough to leave him unattended in my lounge room, I'm sure. With that thought in mind, I slowly slipped underneath the covers of my bed sheets and eventually began to drift off. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Can I glance at this, by the way? I just want to see if there's... Oh, there is more things. Good morning, Corlin Bay. Let's go. Oh god, oh god, oh boy, oh my god. That's a good message. What did that mean again? Yeah, no, I had a feeling. Pink. Oh no, it's this. Why am I always thinking it's the circle? This, like. That's good. Treat your books with kindness. You're so right. Imagine paying to get into a club. My wallet is crying. I like these. Okay. Oh, my username. My username didn't save. It's gonna change like that every single time, huh? Stay. Okay, that time it did. Anyway. So now we're on day 2? Would you like to save your progress? I guess, sure. Waking up to the sounds of birds chirping outside and the sunlight filtering through my blinds, I groggily rub my eyes before absent-mindedly staring at the ceiling for a few moments. A lot had occurred last night, and I still needed to process most of it. But the main thing that plagued my mind was the stranger I let into my apartment last night. Was he still here? I'd hope so. It'd be kind of weird if you left in the middle of the day. Can I check social media again? New episode, don't talk to me right now. No, violets are not blue. I'm not me without my coffee. Oh god, oh god, oh boy, oh my god. Missing a wallet? CBL reception. And then these two are the same. Okay. Very intrigued by it. Slipping out of my bed, I smooth out the wrinkles in my pajamas to make myself look more presentable before heading out into the hallway. I don't have to make it that far before I catch the familiar glimpse of pink in my vision, and I walk out to see Ren already awake and neatly stacking his pillows and blanket away. Morning, Angel. Sleep well? I don't think anyone came by last night, but... Your neighbor, she's kind of loud, isn't she? Ah. Ren must have heard her gaming away on her computer at 2 a.m., like usual. As if to apologize on her behalf, I offer Ren a sympathetic smile before coming to help him move the pillows back into their rightful spot. Yeah, sorry about that. I usually don't mind since I'm also awake at that time, but I forgot that you'd be able to hear Violet from here as well. Oh, it's no trouble. It's just... It was odd to hear at first. She doesn't really give off that vibe, you know? Yeah, I get what you're saying. She isn't really the type to... Apparently, Ren's stomach wanted to join in on the conversation. Sheepishly, he covers his mouth with the sleeve of his sweater and turns away. But now that I was up close, I could make out the faint dark circles under his eyes, and immediately started to feel bad. I don't. So he was hungry and he didn't get much sleep last night. I must have been a terrible host. I had to make up for this somehow. Sorry, I don't know why it made that noise. I'm not hungry or anything. Why don't I make us something to eat? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want to be a bother anyway. Actually, why don't we go out for breakfast instead? Why? Because you know that the main character can't fucking cook? I think that cafe by the pier is open to the public now. I don't know what that accent was. We should check it out. A new cafe? Was he talking about the Driftwood Cafe? I wasn't even aware that it was open to the public yet. Still, taking him out for breakfast was the least I could do to show my gratitude. After all, Ren did make sure that no creeps broke into my apartment again, and he did it all without expecting anything in return. Yeah, sure. Let me get dressed then. I'll just be 2 seconds. Sure, okay. Take your time. I'll wait here. Leaving Ren unattended yet again, I quickly ducked back into my bedroom to change out of my pajamas. I'm sure he's up to something. In the end, Ren and I decided to walk to the cafe together, considering how the weather was perfect and it wasn't that far from my apartment. Turning to my side, I notice how the pink-haired man tries to not so subtly sneak side glances towards me. The arm at his side practically itches to reach out, and if I knew any better, I would have assumed he wanted to hold my hand. But instead, he simply tucks his hands into his pockets and shoots me yet another soft smile. The weather's really nice today, huh? Back to small talk, it seems. Sure is. If I'd known it'd be this nice and sunny, I would have suggested spending the day at the beach instead. Yeah? Yeah, we could go for a swim or maybe even check out the rock pools. It's been a while since I've been there. Oh, that does sound fun. Kit, hey? At the sound of my name being called, I turn on my heels, only to find Leon running up to me with a sports bag full of what I assume to be his volleyball gear. Heyo, Sunfish. It's good to see you out and about this early. I was just on my way to the beach to meet up with Jaehyun and Teo. Want to tag along? And hey, it's Ron, right? Nice to see you again, buddy. Oh, it's Ren, actually. Sunfish? Huh? Oh, yeah. Sunfish is the cheesy nickname Leon gave me when we were kids. I don't really get it either, to be honest. So, Sunfish and Ren, was it? Sorry about that, bud. I'm not too good with names. Faces, too, sometimes. But hey, it's good to see you both again. Doing anything exciting today? If not, you can tag along with me and... We added to the normal nickname. And now it's Angelfish, and I were about to go on a date, actually. Oh, were we? Angelfish? A date? I don't miss the way Ren suddenly pulls my arm closer to his side, nor the way he clings onto me as though I'd suddenly disappear. You're going on dates again, Darl? Good for you. I'm glad to see that you're coming out of your shell again. Take good care of them for me, won't you, bud? What do you think I've been doing ever since you moved away? Like me, Leon barely seems to notice Ren's mumbling as he rests an arm over my shoulder and starts tugging me in the direction of the beach. Ren, on the other hand, still latches onto my arm but doesn't seem to move. I can't believe my little sunfish is out there in the dating scene again. I feel like a proud father. Oh please, we're basically the same age. I feel like a proud adoptive father. Leon pretends to wipe a tear away from his eyes as he leans further into my shoulder. It was only then that I noticed Ren wasn't following us. Turning around, I reach out to grab his hand instead to tug him along. He immediately seems to perk up at the action and entwines his fingers with mine before falling into step. That's all you need. Just pay attention to him while you're talking to somebody else. Congratulations, you're not gonna get murdered today. Tomorrow, though. Alright, as fun as it is to catch up with my proud adoptive father, who's the same age as me, which makes things kind of weird, Ren and I do need to get going. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't mean to take up so much of your time. He unhooks his arm from around my shoulder and inclines his head towards the beach one more time. My offer still stands. If you want to catch up some more, I'll be down at the beach with... Boy, I didn't know that's what you looked like, okay. Speak of the devil. Almost like he appeared from thin air. Theodore? Or rather, Teo emerges from somewhere behind Leon and makes his way towards the three of us. Though unlike most of my friends here in Cortland Bay, I actually met Teo in the city a few years ago, back when I used to live there. In fact, it was through our mutual friend Jay. Apparently, they'd both known each other since the beginning of middle school. But even after graduating and moving on to university, the pair were still practically inseparable. According to Jay, Teo would always show up at campus to pay him a visit. Though if I were being honest, I'm sure Teo only did it to antagonize some of the students and staff there. It definitely wasn't out of the ordinary for him to do something like that. Plus, it offered me a lot more insight into the whole assertive yet nonchalant attitude he often liked to put on. The first time I'd ever witnessed it was when Teo found me sitting alone in a cafe. I still remember sitting there slack-jawed as he practically shoved my laptop bag to the side, before sitting down and taking a sip of my drink like it was his own. The satisfied grin from seeing my displeasure said everything, and had he not offered to buy me another drink, I'm almost certain I would have told Teo to get lost and bother someone else. But before I can reminisce any further, I hear the sounds of Teo's footsteps drawing closer, and it pulls me back into the present. I watch as he walks up to us with a confident stride, before he purposefully bumps into Ren with the sole purpose of sending him tumbling into the metal railing behind him. Damn. But luckily Ren manages to catch his footing at the last second, sending Teo an annoyed scowl of his own. Oh crap, sorry about that. I'm not sure how I missed such a brightly colored children's mascot. Alright, there's no need for that here. Despite Leon's tone, Teo barely pays the shorter male any mind, seemingly far more interested in Ren instead. Oh boy. Let me guess, you're dressed up as Benny the Buttercup? My 4-year-old cousin would love you. Oh wait, knock it off, mate. What's your problem? Dunno, what's yours? I could practically feel the tension between the two grow, so I decided to step in. Maybe you should introduce each other first before you try glaring each other to death. Teo, this is Ren. He's my... well... we're dating now. Congratulations. Well, that was certainly one way to put it, especially without bringing it up with me beforehand. At his words, I shoot Ren a confused glance, but the determined look on his face had me biting back my words. Okay. Anyway, this is Teo. He's... wait, how should I introduce him to Ren? I've never seen this man in my life. I guess he's a friend from this city. Aw, you consider us friends? That's real cute, doll. Are we not friends? You always used to show up and sit next to me whenever I'd visit that cafe near campus. Which is weird because I never told anyone where I was going. Oh? Maybe I wanted to say hi before visiting Goldie. It's on my route to his university, you know? So he wanted to spend time with me before visiting Jay. How uncharacteristically thoughtful of him. Or maybe I was bored and wanted to see what someone with a lower class income does in their free time. Well then, never mind. Just kidding, doll. Besides, you're a bit too boring for my taste. I doubt you'd even be worth hiring a private investigator. Damn. Okay, enough. Look, why don't we just drop this, yeah? You really need to stop trying to pick fights with everyone, mate. Don't get your panties in a twist. I seriously doubt Buttercup's capable of harming a fly. Let alone able to throw a decent punch. You can drop the nickname. Nah, but I think Dollface over here should drop you instead. Besides, the nickname is kinda cute. Matches your style pretty well, don't you think, Buttercup? I could see Ren's hand clench into a fist as he advances towards Teo, but thankfully Leon steps in once more. Seriously, why don't we all cool off, yeah? I think we're getting a bit too heated. Look, we're gonna head down to the beach. I don't miss the way Leon sends Teo a sharp glare. Are you sure you don't want to join us, Kit? I promise to make sure that Teo stays on his best behavior. Sorry, Leon, but I've already made plans with Ren. And I seriously doubt they'll be able to get along. You know how Teo can get. Yeah, you got a point there. Well, alright then. He leans closer to me, almost as if he didn't want the other two eavesdropping. If anything happens, I'll be in the area. Just come find me, okay? Thanks. I give his arm a soft squeeze and turn my attention back to Ren. But by the way he looks at us, I can only assume that he didn't like how close I was standing to my childhood friend. Though that could have also been because Teo was still around, and honestly, I couldn't blame him. Regardless, I reach for his hand once more and tug him towards the cafe, making a point of ignoring Teo's crass words as we went along. I barely notice how Ren's mood immediately changes when my attention is back on him, and he follows along like a lost puppy. We eventually arrive at the Driftwood Cafe, and the smell of fresh pastries and brewed coffee floods my senses as it wafts through the open windows. Just as I had thought, the cafe looked as though it had only recently opened, though it didn't seem as busy or as crowded as I anticipated. Pulling me from my thoughts, Ren ushers me into one of the empty tables before he goes off to make an order with a pleased look on his face. It was a bit strange how he didn't want to look at the menu first, but I chalked it up to him wanting to surprise me. I want to see, I love looking at social media. Missing a wallet? Yeah, that's my wallet! It is not his wallet. BTB spotted at the pier. Lol. Interesting. This weather, I'm sweating. I went right past that, by the way. Okay. Moving on. He's barely gone for 5 minutes before he returns once more, taking a seat in front of me with a huff. A comfortable silence washes over us, and I watch as he absent-mindedly fiddles with the ends of his hair. Was he concerned about what Teo said about his appearance earlier? Maybe it'd be a good idea to take his mind off of it. Hey, Ren. Almost immediately, he perks up with wide eyes. How do you manage to keep your hair so fluffy? It always looks so good. Ren seems to flush instantly at my words, and he sheepishly ducks his head lower to hide his reddening cheeks. You like it? I usually just angle a blowdryer below my chin and blast the heat, and it just stays like that afterwards. Oh, so you don't need to use any products or anything? Not really. Just when I thought he got over his timid personality, it slowly came crawling back. Was this really who he was? Ren must have taken my silence as a lack of response, seeing as he tries striking up another conversation. So, work's going good for you, huh? Finally got that promotion? Yeah, I did. I was honestly surprised when I first got my promotion, considering how I've only moved back here recently. But Eleanor's been really helpful by showing me the ropes, and Wait, how did you know I got promoted? Oh, your coworker told me about it yesterday after you left. Eleanor, right? She seemed really proud of you. Anyway, what were you saying about her showing you the ropes? I barely noticed how he managed to change the conversation back to me, as I recounted all the times Eleanor helped put me... Oh my god. As I recounted all the times Eleanor helped me through my first week of working at the library. It eventually reached the point where I felt like I had been talking for hours, and it wasn't until something caught my eye that I finally stopped. I'm on a mission. Not that it matters. I'm in the demo. You got something in your hair. No, I'm on a mission. Goth style. He also glances out the window and follows my line of sight before landing on the person walking by. I might just have killed this person. They were decked out in head-to-toe, heavy makeup, platform boots. Okay, that's a little intense. And clothing you'd only find in stores like Not Tropic. Ren's eyes seemed to follow their form until they're out of sight, and the impassive look on his face made me curious. Yeah, it is kind of cool. Do you like that kind of style? I always thought you preferred something softer and... Order 25! Oh, that's us. Wait right here, I'll be back. Before I could get a word in, Ren was jumping out of his seat and meandering his way towards the kiosk. Hey, by the way, I know we said that we didn't talk about it, but for those of you who this is your first interaction with this game, do note, like, he's hiding things underneath his clothes right here. And also, like, the earring piercings that there's no jewelry there, but there are, like, the piercings, just the holes. Before I could get a word in, Ren was jumping out of his seat and meandering his way towards the kiosk. It really was a sight to behold, seeing Ren tower over most of the other customers who were waiting in line. Even the cashier herself, who seemed to be at least 6 feet tall, had to crane her neck upwards just to look at him. Damn. But before I could blink twice, Ren was already on his way back with a large tray full of delicious food. He seats himself back in his original spot with a pleased smile and begins to lay out the dishes in front of me. Oh, this is a delicious looking scone. Okay, listen. I went out of the country recently. I went to Italy, and it was so wild seeing them have, like, cake for breakfast. I still don't think that you should have cake for breakfast. And they were, like, also kind of like pies too. I just think it's weird. Sweets like that for breakfast is so weird to me. Also a sugar cookie. Wild. Weird. I'm between the scone and the croissant. I do like a good scone. I guess it doesn't say what kind of scone. And then a chocolate croissant. Again, chocolate. Okay, I'll go with the scone. A delicious looking scone sits next to my beverage, and I almost heard my stomach rumble at the sight. How did Ren know this was my favorite thing to order? Granted, it wasn't like I've been to the Driftwood Cafe before, but this was usually what I'd order at any other cafe. It was honestly like he could read my mind. And what was even more mind-boggling was that he didn't even need to look at the menu beforehand. It was like he just knew. Don't forget your drink. Ren shoots me another gentle smile before placing my drink before me. No way! Another menu! The drink he placed before me was... Whoa! A cup of coffee! A latte. I could tell by that scent that he ordered me a nice warm latte. Just like the ones I usually bring on my way to work sometimes. I hope this is okay. Unfortunately, this cafe doesn't really have much to offer, judging from the menu I saw online. Oh yeah, you looked at the menu online, huh? So that's how he knew what to order. I even tried asking for napkins earlier, but I don't think they heard me. Maybe I should try again. I almost felt bad for him, but I also felt grateful for ordering me something that I'd normally eat at a cafe. Ren makes sure everything is on the table before putting the tray aside, and it was then that I noticed what he'd ordered himself. Do I get to pick as well? On his plate sat a strawberry sweet roll. Oh, yeah, alongside a cup of coffee that was an alarming shade of black. He seems to pick up on my inquisitive stare, as if the innocent tilt of his head was anything to go by. Do you want my meal instead? We can swap if you want. I don't mind. I don't like strawberries, and I will drink black coffee, but I have a feeling that it's like black with nothing, and I do like sugar in my coffee, so no. This was supposed to be a date, right? Deciding to tease him a little, I shoot Ren a sly grin. That's okay, but you could offer me a bite instead. Hello? Excuse me? Ren almost seems to combust on the spot as his cheeks turn red, and he almost chokes on his own spit. He looks down at his food before glancing back at me, only to look down once more to scoop up a bite-sized piece of his food. Great. I watch as Ren's cheeks turn a deep shade of red while he brings his fork closer to me, and not wanting to be seen as a coward, I lean in to take a bite. His eyes widen almost immediately, and he seems hyper-focused on the way my mouth wraps around the fork before I lick my lips and let out a pleased hum. Trying to... There we go. Unplug my, phone because it's done charging. I need to really figure out the cable situation on my desk. It's getting a little crazy. Ooh, I could... I just figured out the answer to my own question. Okay. Later, not right now. It's yummy. Try some. The pink-haired man seems to have an awkwardly long staring contest with his own fork. You cannot kill the fork. Before scooping up yet another small piece and taking a bite. Ren's cheeks are still scarlet red, and he seems almost fidgety with how his leg keeps bouncing under the table, so I decide to take pity on him and not tease him for it. With a knowing smile, I start digging into my own meal with a pleased hum. Can I check his social media again? No, he's still sweating. I'm not me without my coffee. Well, good news, she's not dead. That's always good. Okay, I want to see later what he posts on social media, but I think that we are a little bit too close to this scene that, like, once the scene ends, he'll post on social media. He's not whipping out his phone right now, you know? With a knowing smile, I start digging into my own meal with a pleased hum. Oh, the scene ends just then. Eventually, we ended up finishing our meals and decided to do a bit of window shopping to pass the time. Hold on. Damn it. I had nothing else to do today, and Ren seemed insistent on spending the rest of his time with me, so I agreed. We passed by a few clothing stores, ice cream stands, surfboard rentals, and many other interesting buildings, though nothing really caught my interest. But just as I thought I'd lost all hope, one store in particular catches my eye. In one of the display windows, I spot this cute little rabbit plushie in the style of Haruko's likeness. Of course, of course. I mean, it even came with his limited edition sorcerer outfit and everything. I couldn't believe they were selling these things here of all places, and at such a cheap price, too. Oh, you're very small. Ren seems to take notice of what I was not so subtly gawking at, but before we could enter the store, the cashier walks in front of the display stand and blocks our view. She drops a box of miscellaneous items at her feet and begins stocking the shelf next to the plushies, before she finally notices us standing by the window. I don't miss the way her eyes widen at Ren, obviously taking an immediate liking to him, and almost shamelessly pushes a strand of hair behind her ears, before giving him a small wave. Sneaking a glance at the taller man beside me, I notice how Ren wasn't even paying attention to her, instead keeping himself busy by scratching at his jaw, and kicking at the stray cobblestone rocks by his feet. But the cashier seemed adamant about getting Ren's attention, considering how she felt the need to abandon her spot by the shelves and make her way towards us. She's so short in comparison. Hi there, welcome to Seaside Trinkets. My name's Olivia, can I help you with anything? Oh, no, we were just looking around, but thanks for... We recently got some new beachwear merch if you're interested in checking them out. Was she seriously ignoring me? Oh, you kind of look like someone I know. Have we met before? Maybe we went to the same school. Me? I don't think so. Really? I would have definitely remembered a face like yours. Actually, now that I got a good look at you... I watch as she shamelessly takes in Ren's appearance before crossing her arms over her chest and leaning back. You also remind me of one of those characters from a cartoon that's been gaining a lot of traction here. Apparently one of the locations from that show is based on Coral Bay's main beach. Are you talking about Attack on Giant? Is that the name of it? Then yeah. I don't really know much about those cartoons, but our company recently started selling some stuff for it to entice the tourists. Do you want to come inside and take a look? Actually, do you want my number as well? Here. You had this prepared? Of course. You always need to be ready in case any cuties walk into the store. Well, I wouldn't want to sound like a hypocrite or anything. Ren looks at me with a shy, knowing look before he hesitantly reaches out to take the piece of paper. What did he mean by that? Before I even get a chance to ask, Ren already answers my silent question with red cheeks and a crooked smile. This is embarrassing, but I also had my number prepared for when we met at the library yesterday here, not in front of someone. He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a folded pink sticky note of his own before handing it to me, alongside Olivia's number as well. Heck yeah, I got her number. Huh? My confusion must have been blatantly obvious since Ren was quick to explain his intentions. With a mischievous grin, he leans closer to whisper into my ear. Maybe we could prank call her later. That'll teach her not to give her number out to strangers. But isn't that what you did with me, Ren? I match his teasing smile with my own. Touché, but I haven't received any prank calls from you, though. You just gave me your number. Wait a second. Don't jinx it. Just as Ren lets out a puff of laughter at my joke, Olivia cuts him off. Hello? I'm still here. Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, now that you've got my number, I have your number. And I've gotten your attention again, I think it's only fair I show you around the store. I don't do this just for anybody, you know. Ren doesn't seem to answer her initial question, nor does he seem to outright respond to her, and instead casts an inquisitive glance in my direction. It was like he is asking me for my opinion, and I can only assume it was because he knew about my interest in anime. It was thoughtful of him to do that, but I kind of wanted to tell him to tell that rude worker off instead. Wait, did I really want him to do that? What was wrong with me? I'm sure that the cashier just took an interest in him and there was nothing wrong with that. It's not like we were a couple anyway, but we were supposed to be on a date right now and Ren did declare himself my boyfriend earlier. But I just assumed he said that in order to get Teo off my back. Does that mean... Was he feeling the same way as me? Was jealousy on his mind when we talked with Leon and Teo earlier? I wasn't sure about how I felt about this new discovery. Kit? Huh? Do you want to go look at the items? We've still got a bit of time to kill. Here, why don't I show you the most recent stock? We haven't shown this to the general public yet, but I'm sure you'll love it. Without warning, Olivia, was that her name? Reaches out for Ren's arm and practically drags him inside the store. He lets out a surprised sound before leaning back and trying to grab hold of my own arm as well, but I was just out of his reach. There was nothing else I could do but watch as Ren helplessly gets pulled into the store. It's back here in the stock rooms. Usually we don't allow customers downstairs, but you're a real hottie, so I'll let you take a sneak peek. No, actually, I'm good. Don't worry, we won't get caught. I'm sure your partner won't mind if I borrow you for a bit. Interesting, your partner. I'll even throw in some of those cartoon stickers for you. Surely that will make it worth your time. The wink she sends him feels a little excessive, and I honestly wished Ren would just turn around so I could gauge his reaction. But instead, he leans in close to her face and whispers in a hushed tone that I could barely hear from my spot outside the store, but I can hear it, okay? If they weren't sit right now, I would have down the stair without a thought. I assume that's if they weren't staring or standing there right now. I would have shoved you down the stairs without a thought. And honestly, they're nothing more I'd rather do. From their current position, it looked as though they were having a really intimate conversation, and I felt the sudden urge to look away. Why was I getting so bothered over this? I know we aren't exactly together, but Ren shouldn't be off flirting with other people while on a date with someone else. Jeez. I would never want to be in a relationship with someone who wasn't considerate of my feelings, and up until now, I honestly thought Ren would have had a chance. I guess I was wrong. But still, there was this nagging voice at the back of my head that kept telling me not to give up on him so easily. Ren was the only one who confidently stood his ground when Teo got a bit suggestive, so maybe I should do the same. Would he even mind? Before I can stop myself, my feet start to move on autopilot as I march towards the two of them and reach for Ren's sleeve. I give it a hesitant tug, and I swear I could almost feel the relief wash over his body because of it. Ren's entire demeanor seems to change in that moment, and he turns to me with a relieved smile on his soft features. I don't really have any interest in this store. Can we go somewhere else? Yeah, of course. Wait, hold on. Ren carelessly shoves Olivia's outstretched hand aside and gently places an arm over my shoulder instead. And just like that, he's already guiding me out of the store and back into the busy street. I can hear Olivia sputter out confused sounds as she watches the two of us leave, and I suddenly feel guilty for causing a rift between them. I feel like you should have. No matter how many times I tried to brush it aside, I still couldn't get my mind off of what had just occurred earlier. What if Ren was interested in her? Granted, he probably shouldn't have blatantly flirted with her while on a date with me, but he wasn't exactly the most confident guy. Would he still be able to talk to her again if things didn't work out between us? No, I shouldn't be thinking like that. Peering up to gauge his expression, I noticed how he didn't really look all that upset about leaving her. If anything, he seemed rather content to be walking down the street with his fingers entwined in mine once more. I can feel him give my hand a protective squeeze as he looks down at me with his soft blue eyes, and all my worries somehow melt away. Maybe I did make the right choice after all. It might have been selfish, but it was worth having Ren look at me with such a gentle expression. Eventually, the sun starts to set behind the ocean as Ren and I continue to walk along the beach walk. Most of the conversation was geared towards me and my interests again, but every time I tried to learn more about Ren, he only seemed to divert the conversation back to me once more. But the more I focused on his odd behavior, the more I began to pick up on his social habits as well. I learned that Ren would subtly pick at the sleeves of his cardigan whenever he got nervous, or how he'd scratch at his jaw whenever the conversation strayed down a path he didn't feel comfortable with. His little quirks told me more about himself than the dead-end conversations that only led back to me, and I was content with knowing more about him than I did yesterday. Ren no longer felt like a stranger I had met at the library, but rather someone I could consider a friend. Except friends aren't supposed to get jealous whenever they see them flirt with someone else. Jeez, what was wrong with me? It had barely been 2 days and I was already contemplating whether or not I truly saw Ren in a romantic light. Was I going too fast? All these thoughts were starting to get a bit overwhelming and... Angel, hello? Huh? You're spacing out on me again. There's that look again. He keeps peering down at me with so much adoration in his eyes, and if I didn't know any better, I would think that he was already halfway in love with me. But that was a very conceited thought and probably wasn't even true. Sorry, I was just thinking about things. Are you going to share those things with the rest of the class? He sends me a playful smile and a gentle nudge into my side, and I couldn't help but laugh. When did we become so comfortable with each other? And when did he lose his stutter? It's nothing, really. Maybe a bit embarrassing, but, well, I was wondering, how do you feel about... My sentence gets cut short when a drop of rain lands on my cheek. Instinctively, I look up and find myself wondering how I didn't notice those dark clouds in the sky sooner. All of a sudden, more droplets fall down, until it's all but pouring rain and forcing everyone in the area to find cover. Over here. Ren doesn't seem to pay much attention when he grabs me by the hand and pulls me underneath one of the awnings of a nearby building. He shields me from the rain with his body, and I couldn't help but feel tiny, God, with the way his arms cage me in as he rests them against the wall. Okay. We look at each other in silence for a brief moment before erupting in laughter. Perhaps it was just because of the adrenaline from all the panicked running, or the fact that Ren's hair was starting to lose its fluffiness, but I couldn't hold back from letting out a fit of giggles. This only seems to spur Ren on as well, until we're both wheezing out of our lungs and gulping down air. I can't remember the last time I ran that fast. Me too. The looming sound of thunder echoes from afar and drowns out our laughter until we're both silent once more. Once we both calm down, Ren moves me further away from the rain before casting a glance behind him. Wait here. I'll buy us an umbrella so we can get out of this rain. But you'll get soaked. 'Tis a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I roll my eyes at his corny joke and send him off with an amused smile. He doesn't look back before he makes a mad dash out into the rain and down the street towards the closest convenience store. Though the rain only seems to get heavier the moment he leaves, and I find myself pressing even further against the wall behind me to avoid the recoil of the rain bouncing off the pavement. There wasn't much for me to do while I waited for Ren to return, aside from watching people scramble around for shelter. And just like that, the carefree sounds of laughter echoing from down the street capture my attention, as I watch Leon, Teo, and Jay all run to cover like their life depended on it. Well, seems as though their beach outing got cut short as well. Glancing back once more, I barely make out the figure of Leon using his bag as a makeshift umbrella as he ducks under one of the awnings of an ice cream stand. All while Teo and Jay trail behind at a leisurely pace, kicking and splashing water at each other in the rain. I had to look away the moment Teo started to remove his shirt, and I had an inkling that it was so he could show off. And knowing Jae-hyun, he'd follow along without a care in the world, because that's what he always does when it came to his friends. A part of me felt like calling out to the group to see if I could wait out the storm alongside them, but they all seemed to be enjoying themselves, and I didn't want to get in between that. Plus, I did promise Ren that I'd wait for him here. Even if he was taking his sweet time. Was he ever going to return? There was still no sign of him or his comfy-looking cardigan, and I was beginning to wonder if he really did ditch me. After all, it must have been more than 15 minutes by now. What if he got caught up with something? Or what if he went back to see that cashier lady again? Her store did happen to be on the same street, but after spending the afternoon with Ren and getting to know him, I concluded that he wasn't the type of person to do such a thing. Plus, that'd be a really low blow considering that he was the one who offered to take me out on a date today. Although if I was being honest with myself, it did seem as though they had chemistry, especially with how she looked at him and touched his arm and thought it was the most natural thing in the world. She apparently knew him as well, or at least he looked recognizable enough. Why did that thought make my blood boil? Thankfully, the rain was there to cool me off, as well as soak the ends of my outfit and make everything feel damp and uncomfortable. Was Ren coming back? It shouldn't take this long to buy an umbrella. Interesting. I want to say wait because I want to know how long this would take. Maybe something did come up. I'm sure he'll come back. And then, next scene that we see, it's midnight. And as if on cue, I spot oh god, I can't read. And as if on cue, I spot a familiar patch of pink hair, and from within the misty rain, frantically sprinting with an umbrella in one hand and a bag under the other. Oh, you actually did come back. Angel? Kit? Ah. He almost slams into me before stopping just in time, and I could tell by the way he was wheezing that he ran all the way back here without stopping. Sorry, I thought I almost lost you there for a second. It's so hard to see in this weather. Jeez, Ren, what took you so long? I almost wanted to cuss him out for taking well over 20 minutes just to buy a single umbrella, but the genuinely apologetic look on his features made me hold my tongue. Sorry, I ran into your friends from earlier, which took forever for me to shake them off. Okay. And then the convenience store ended up closing early due to the sudden weather change, so then I had to go on that awful souvenir shop with that obnoxious and clingy cashier again, and he was talking a mile a minute, and I was worried he'd end up biting his tongue. Gently, I raise a hand to signal him to calm down, and his intense monologue soon comes to a halt. I'm really sorry about making you wait so long, but... ta-da! I did manage to get an umbrella, among other things as well. He gives it a small twirl in his hands, sending droplets of water all over the place. We can start heading back home now if you want, unless you want to go somewhere specific. We could go to your apartment. I don't think that he liked that. I kind of want to know what his reaction would be, but then I'll go back. Really? It's not that far away. Anyway, we could wait out the storm there if you'd like. Ooh! I even have a heater and a dryer we could use. Oh, I thought that he wouldn't enjoy that. The image of me sitting in front of a warm, cozy heater was too hard to resist, so I ended up eagerly stepping under Ren's umbrella while he leads the way. Yippee! Despite the heavy downpour of rain, we managed to make it to Ren's apartment complex in one piece. I guess he really wasn't lying when he said his apartment wasn't far from mine. Oh boy, I can't read. But judging from the pristine interior and fully functioning elevators, oh my god, his apartment's better, I'm moving in. His building seems to be in far better shape compared to mine. I need to itch my nose. Oh, the whole head goes crazy. Okay, hold on. It was an intense itch. I knew it was going to take a little bit longer. Okay. The elevator ride could have been a little less awkward though if it weren't for the slow ascend and tacky music. Or for the fact that Ren deemed it appropriate to shake his hair like a wet dog and get water droplets everywhere. Once the elevator doors slid open, I was immediately met with a grandiose corridor and large, spacious doors, and I found myself wondering how much it'd cost to live in a place like this. Don't look too hard at how messy my place is, okay? I wasn't expecting to have someone over today, so I didn't bother cleaning up. I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu. Thankfully, I don't have any white-haired neighbors who like to take their plants on walks. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a bit strange, but no one lives on this floor aside from me. I'm not really sure why, but I'm not going to complain. I can make as much noise as I want and no one would notice. Okay. Ren shoots me a mischievous grin, and I find myself wondering what he meant by that. Like, loud music and stuff? Movies? Yeah, something like that. He unlocks the door with some electronic card attached to his keychain, and the moment the door swings open, I let out an audible gasp. Ren doesn't seem fazed in the slightest as he flicks on the lights and walks into his own home, but I could only stand at the entrance to his foyer in shock. Yes, foyer. He had a whole dang foyer in his apartment. Was this even an apartment? Surely a penthouse would have made more sense. Holy crap, Ren. Is there something wrong? What is it? I know the decor is kind of tacky, but it came with the apartment, and I haven't found the time to do anything about it yet. I'm sorry, but are you the long-lost heir of a billionaire or something? This place is huge. And hello, is that marble? No, I get paid a lot from my job. Enough to afford rent, at least. You know, I don't think I've asked you this yet, but what exactly is your job? My job is, well, I guess you could say I'm a programmer. I don't know, I just take on a few jobs every so often. Nothing super fancy or anything. Nothing super fancy, Ren, you have marble flooring. Leaving the newly discovered programmer at the entrance, I curiously venture further into his apartment. Marble's a pain in the rear end to clean, too. Oh, Angel, do you want some slippers? The floors can get cold, and your shoes are probably soaked, right? Turning around, I notice Ren opening a small closet and pulling out a pair of dark house slippers. He looks at me with a curious expression, but makes no effort to hand them over. Only if you want them. I'll take them, but only because they look like they're Gucci. Ren lets out a puff of laughter through his nose at my joke, but doesn't seem to deny it. Were these slippers really from a luxury brand? As I put them on, I noticed how they were my exact size, and it made me wonder if he had bought a bunch of expensive house slippers in varying sizes. But as funny as that imagery was, how did Ren accurately guess my shoe size without seeing my feet? Here, why don't I show you to the bathroom? I'll find you something to wear in the meantime while your clothes are in the dryer. Or would you prefer a towel instead? I guess that would make more sense. Sorry, I usually don't invite people over. Seeing his timid side resurface once more gave me the sudden urge to tease him. You know, my first thought of where this was going was this, but we're gonna go safe. Am I your first house guest? Maybe. I'm actually very picky with who I invite over, and I prefer to be on my own most of the time, so I don't usually bring people over. You never answered the question. I give him a teasing smile, and he shyly turns his head away instead. Anyway, I'll show you to the bathroom. You can use whatever you want in there, nothing is off limits. First, it was offering to spend the night at my place. Then it was asserting himself as my boyfriend in front of my friends. He really doesn't care about personal boundaries, huh? I was beginning to think that Ren didn't really seem to mind when it came to me invading his personal bubble as well. Though he still seemed pretty standoffish around Teo and Leon, and it took him a while to warm up to Eleanor back at the library. He even seemed indifferent when we first met Violet, but I figured it was only because he was shy. Speaking of being shy, I still noticed how Ren didn't seem to be switching up his personality as much anymore, and I was beginning to think that he was showing me his real side. Up until now, everything felt real and genuine, and I found that we could bounce back witty retorts between each other more easily. Though every now and again he might slip up and stutter, but I just assumed it was because my teasing made him flustered. So, maybe the timid side of him was genuine after all. But I'll leave some clothes for you outside and put the plushie I bought for you in your room. Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks. Great, I was zoning out again and completely missed half of what he was saying. Good. Something about clothes and a plushie he bought? Was he talking about the Haruko plushie I was eyeing up earlier? I mean, he was carrying a gift bag from that souvenir shop earlier. Did he really buy me that toy? Ren, however, doesn't seem to pick up on my confusion, though, and invitingly opens the bathroom door for me with a soft smile. And so, without trying to make things awkward, I quickly slip inside and lean against the door for support. Which was fortunate for me because one sweep of the bathroom had me stumbling back in surprise. Whoa. Even his restroom looked expensive. I was afraid of touching anything, fearing I'd accidentally break it and end up paying for it. Glancing around again, I noticed how his countertop seemed to be void of any dental care, hairbrushes, and skincare products, though a few bottles of concealer and an open box of hair dye sat in the corner near the sink. Well, I guess that answers my burning question on whether or not he naturally had pink hair. Now it made me wonder if Ren does dye his hair, then what is his natural hair color? There were still so many things I didn't know about that soft-looking guy, and I was beginning to question whether coming here was a good idea or not. With a sigh, I decided not to waste any more time thinking about irrelevant things, and instead turned my attention back to the shower. Quickly stripping out of my clothes, I jump into the unnecessarily large glass booth and turn the water on. Glancing at Ren's shelf of, albeit limited, hair and body products, I couldn't help but notice that one brand in particular just so happened to be the exact same as mine. Huh, interesting. Did we use the same body wash? He didn't really smell like me, but maybe that was because I wasn't paying much attention. I mean, who randomly smells people out of the blue anyway? Shaking my head at such a silly notion, I begin to scrub away the lingering smell of rain from my body. Okay, the smell of rain? And quickly finish washing up. I want to know what the social media looks like. I just remembered social media again. No, there's nothing new? Damn. The tits on that man? Holy moly. Why are you in my social media? What the fuck? Okay. Bundled up in a warm towel, I crack open the large door and poke my head out into the hallway. True to his word, Ren left a small pile of clothing outside the bathroom, neatly stacked and propped against the side of the wall. Bringing the contents back inside, I noticed that one piece of clothing in particular was a rather comfy-looking hoodie. But the design on the front, however, was rather morbid-looking and didn't really suit Ren's vibes. Maybe from a horror film or something? Shrugging my shoulders, I put the hoodie on and instantly get enveloped by the sheer amount of fabric. I mean, it made sense considering Ren's large and lanky frame, but this was just absurd. I had to stifle a laugh from the amusing sight in the fogged-up mirror, but I had to admit that the soft fabric felt nice and warm against my skin. Even the scent that came from it felt oddly comforting somehow. Turning back to the remaining clothes in the pile, I gently pick up the next item and try to put it on. The gray sweatpants didn't seem to fit the length of my legs, despite the number of times I tried to roll up the elastic, but luckily Ren was thoughtful enough to give me other alternatives. The dark pair of shorts seemed like the better option, especially since it came with a drawstring and deep pockets. Once I was fully dressed, I stepped out of the bathroom and aimlessly walked around until I heard the faint sounds of a TV playing. Feeling curious, I followed the source of the sound down the hallway. Eking news! A sudden storm hits the bay as gale force winds and knock over street signs and even awnings. Guests believe that this sudden change in weather will die down soon and to stay safe indoors. I continue to follow the noise until it suddenly cuts out and changes into a glaring monotone sound, indicating that the television must have lost all signal. And soon enough, I find myself in Ren's spacious lounge room. Aside from TV, the rest of the lights were off, but I could still make out most of the dark shapes within the room with ease. It was just as ostentatious as the rest of his house, though I couldn't help but feel like it lacked any form of life. It just didn't seem like somebody actually lived here. I had that feeling. A little bit. The furniture was gaudy yet tasteless. There was hardly any personal decoration or colors, and there was nothing that really screamed Ren to me. There were no personal touches, photos, items, hobbies, nothing. Just tacky furniture and the bland smell of something sterile. If I was being honest, it gave off the same vibe as a dentist clinic or a hospital. I mean, he did mention recently moving in, right? Maybe that's why. Who moved in? Surprised by the sudden voice, I spun on my heel, only to find Ren coming out from one of the hallways with a new set of comfy clothing. He seemed much more at ease like this, especially with a gentle expression on his face. Sorry, man, I keep looking at what looks like a heart on your hip bone. I watch as he takes— Listen, it's right on top of the text, right? I'm not looking for any reason. I watch as he takes a respectful glance at my attire before sheepishly averting his attention to the ends of his sleeve. Sorry, that's the only pair of clothing I could find that might fit you. It looks really good on you, though. Oh, thanks. You can even keep them if you want. The sound of thunder rumbling in the distance cuts off Ren's mumbling, and I involuntarily step closer to him. Without missing a beat, he reaches out and rests a protective hand on my shoulder to steady me. Ren idly glances out of the window before turning his undivided attention back to me once more, only this time with a determined look. It's really pouring, huh? I could only nod my head at his words, suddenly feeling sheepish all of a sudden. I really should have checked the weather forecast before I went out today. But to be fair, it didn't look as though it'd start spontaneously raining when I left my apartment this morning. And I guess I was enjoying my time with Ren to the point where I didn't even realize the weather was turning sour. Angel? Sorry, what did you just say? I just asked if you wanted to stay the night here, you know, seeing how hard it's raining out there and your clothes haven't finished drying yet. It'd be no trouble, and I could return the favor, considering how you let me stay at your apartment yesterday. Staying at his place for the night? Well, this certainly isn't how I expected to end my day. But would it really be that bad? It definitely beats waiting out the storm and walking home with a bunch of puddles everywhere. What does that mean? What does that mean? So I know that he fucks with the game. And that, like, you get choices that are glitched out with this, like this. But I thought it was only when you weren't doing good choices and he, like, kind of forces you into stuff. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know that this is his doing, though. That he's, like, reaching through the game to get me. Should I spend the night or should I spend the night? I wonder if there's a difference between, like, doing the normal text and doing the glitched text. Anyway. I guess I could stay if that's really okay with you. Yeah, of course, it's totally fine. Wow, he really was an energetic, eccentric man, wasn't he? Let me know if you need any more pillows or blankets. Or if the room gets too cold. I haven't worked out how to use the fancy heater system yet, but I can definitely try. Also, you already know where the bathroom is, but if you... Okay, I think I got it, Ren. I shoot him a reassuring smile as I turn to face him at the door. I should have gotten used to his attentive and observant behavior by now, but it still feels like a foreign side of him that I hadn't fully uncovered. Still, at least he wasn't stuttering as much anymore. I know, sorry. I just want you to be as comfortable as possible, so just treat this house like it's your own. Alright, gotcha. He looks like he doesn't want to leave and instead lingers in front of the door a little while longer. Are you sure there isn't anything else you need? Anything at all? No, I'm good, thanks. Alright then, if you need anything, my room is just 3 doors down. You don't even have to knock, just let yourself in, okay? In fact, you can even share my bed if you... okay, gotcha. But I think I'll knock, just to be safe. You really don't have to, but alright. Well, if that's everything, I'll let you get some sleep now. Good night, Kit. Sweet dreams. I watch in silence as Ren turns on his heel and makes his way towards his own room down the hall. Shaking my head at his odd behavior, I close the door behind me and slowly make my way towards the bed. I noticed that the Haruko plushie Ren had bought earlier was sitting atop the sheets, and I gently bring it closer to my chest to give it a soft squeeze. So he really did buy this for me after all. The faintest hint of cherry and mint emits from the toy. It makes my mind drift to thoughts of that strange pink-haired man once more. He was still odd as usual, but some parts of him were starting to feel rather endearing. I noticed how he was no longer stuttering as much or acting as shy, and it made me wonder if we were getting closer. Now that I really thought about it, how did I feel about Ren? Ooh, personally, I'm in between these two. I think a little bit more towards, I think he's all right. Yeah. I think I want to like him, like I said before. But right now it's just kind of like, he's okay. He's fine. I feel like we'd have to wait a little bit for this. I think he's alright. What was there to say? We still didn't know each other that well, but he seemed very kind and considerate towards me. Yeah. I feel like I just needed to get to know Ren better before I could decide on a strong opinion of him. Maybe we could get closer in the future. You'd have to actually try and put the effort in though, because right now it felt like I was doing all the work. Well, there was no point in me stressing over something so trivial. Rolling onto my side, I hug the plushie closer and slowly drift off to sleep. Hold on, social media check. Damn, nobody ever changes their social media. Sorry, I really like the tits on that man. Right underneath just a picture of Teo's chest. Yippee! Okay, let's save here. Yippee! And I think that I am going to end this recording here. I'm getting a little bit tired. I feel like you can kind of tell in my speaking as well. I'm jumbling up words a little bit, and I think I need a little break to rest the tongue. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm definitely interested in trying out more of this game. Like I said, still kind of feeling rather neutral to like a neutral like about Ren. But I'm really interested in seeing how this goes because so far it's not quite as I thought that it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit darker. And maybe it's because those darker things happen later. But right now it's just kind of like, I feel like most of the darkness is just because I know that he's yandere. But so far the game doesn't show that too much. I thought that there'd be a little bit more. Anyway, I should go for now, though. I feel like there's nothing else to say. So thank you for joining me as I tried out this game. I hope that you are enjoying it so far, and I will see you next time for some more 14 Days With You.